Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Dami Olubude, and I am the Manager of International Admissions here at Blyth Academy. We at Blyth Academy are so happy to have you join us on this session. And what I'll be doing is giving you a presentation which will provide you with an overview of our academies here in Ontario, Canada, as well as our online high school, which is referred to as Blyth Academy Online. So I'll give an opportunity to just go through my presentation slides, provide that overview for you all. And then at the end, if you do have questions, please feel free to use the questions panel in front of you, and I'll address those at the very end. Otherwise, if it's relevant to the presentation slides, I'll address it during the presentation itself. So what we'll be doing is providing an overview of Blyth Academy, who we are, what we do, the programs that we offer, and I'll give you a brief overview of our study options as well. I'll be giving quite an in-depth dive into our Blyth Academy Online, which is our online high school. For many of you who may be interested in studying online and getting an Ontario secondary school diploma with us. I'll talk about the learning and grading criteria, as well as the guidance support that you'll have as an international student with us. I'll talk to you briefly about course fees and what that looks like. And then I'll talk a little bit about our post-secondary outcomes and provide a question and answer section at the end. So let's dive into it. So who are we? So Blyth Academy Online is Canada's largest network of private high schools. So we start from grade 5 all the way up until grade 12. So for students who are interested in studying with us, many of our academies do offer the elementary aspect, which is the grade 5 to 8. And then from grade 9 to 12, that would be considered the high school aspect of the student's qualification. So Blyth Academy is Canada's largest high school by enrollment. We were ranked in 2017 as the best Canadian high school by the Huffington Post. And that's something that we're extremely proud of and continue to celebrate till today, offering a service to our international students and our domestic students here in Canada so they can meet their educational goals and needs. We have 10 campuses across Ontario, all of which are presented on the screen in front of you. So we have a campus in Burlington, Downsview Park, Etobicoke, Lawrence Park, London, that's London, Ontario, Mississauga, Ottawa, Waterloo, Whitby, and our flagship campus, which is in Yorkville, which is downtown Toronto. We offer a range of different programming. So we offer full-time studies for students who want to study with us for a full academic year. We also offer private studies, so one-to-one learning for students who want that personalized one-to-one attention. We do have a night school program, so that's essentially when students study outside of the normal school hours. It's usually taking place between 5 to 8 anytime in the day, in the evening, and allowing students to continue their studies outside of class. We do also have summer school, so for students who are interested in studying with us with summer school, then they can study with us during the months of July and August. But we've just launched our virtual summer school this year, and that's really to combat the fact that most of our academies are closed at present due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So for students who are looking to study with us in the summer but aren't necessarily able to come into Canada, we are offering a virtual summer school where they can study with us online, and essentially we'll have a live teacher similar to the format that I have with you right now, studying with a live teacher online. I want to talk to you a little bit about Globe Educate. So we are really proud to be a part of a larger conglomerate of schools referred to as Globe Educate. They are based out in Madrid and operate with 50 private schools across 9 different countries. And one of their core values is about educational excellence, but really setting students up to be global citizens. So we do very much interact with our partners, schools across the world, some of which are in Spain. We've got schools in England as well, and schools in Italy. And with that allows our students to have real access to an international base of students and really get involved in activities that involve a wider network of schools. So we're very pleased to be a part of Globe Educate, and you'll see with many of our Blyth branding that Globe Educate is very much a part of that branding too. So let's talk a bit about Blyth Academy Online. So we are an academically respected online private high school. And essentially what I mean by online is it's an asynchronous program. So students can start whenever they want to at any point or any place in the world that they are based in. So for example, all they need access to is a laptop, a webcam, and they can study from wherever they are in the world. We offer over 160 affordable ministry inspected courses. And what I mean by that is Blyth Academy Online is considered a separate school. As I mentioned earlier, we have 10 physical campuses here in Ontario, Canada, but Blyth Academy Online is considered a separate unit. We usually refer to it as our 11th campus. And what that means is that they are able to award credits and award the OSSD, which is referred to as the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, to students in the same way a physical school can do. And we really do pride ourselves in offering an experience that students can really feel replicates the actual classroom experience. So in that respect, students are encouraged to be critical thinkers, to use their creativity, to really get a deep dive into the core learning outcomes for that course. And we really do pride ourselves in making sure students are fully engaged to each of the courses that they're a part of. So let's talk about the Blyth Academy Online experience. So students are able to set their own study schedule, and they have a year from the moment that they receive their registration details to complete the course. So just to give you an example of what that might look like, a student may register for an English course, a grade 11 English course online. And what that means is that once they've paid their fees, they've submitted their application, they'll receive a login information from our team, and then they start to build towards their final assessment by studying online with us. So it's a very intuitive program. We use an online platform called Brightspace, and what that allows students to do is feel really engaged within the learning. And with each course, students will find that they will know the learning outcomes for each section. There'll be activities, there'll be audios, there'll be visuals, there'll be videos. There may even be some live teaching content as well, which would have been pre-uploaded online for students to study at their own pace. Each course is structured to be modular, so that with that, each lesson has as I mentioned earlier, a learning outcome, a topic, and an approximate time of completion for each and every section of the course. So what you'll find is that even from the moment you start a course with us with Blyth Academy Online, you'll be very aware of what the next stages are for each course, and also allow you to really understand what the learning criteria is to be able to move on to the next section. Each course does have a Blyth Academy Online teacher registered to that course. So what that means, if a student is having any difficulties during the duration of the course, they can contact the teacher and discuss it with them via email, or if they do feel they want to have physical one-to-one conversation, they can then choose a relevant time based on the teacher's office hours, which will be specified online, to talk to the teacher about the concerns, the questions that they may have. So this really allows for that interaction to be there for each and every course. So you won't find that you're left on your own. You'll have a teacher who is there to support you during the student journey. And just to touch base on my point 4 on the screen, there are readings, there's assignments, there's multimedia aspects, there's really engaging videos as well. So with our Blyth Academy Online, it's not just a case of you sitting down, reading lots of materials on the screen. There is lots of different activities and visuals to help you keep engaged and make sure that you're really digesting the learning. So the learning experience and grading. So lessons are delivered in a variety of different formats. One of them including the PowerPoint presentation, which is something I'm doing with you right now, but we also do have discussion forums. So what we do try to encourage our students to do is to communicate with the other students who may also be assigned to that course at that given time. So there will be discussion forums, the students can come together, share ideas, discuss points, give each other tips and tricks, and teachers are very much in those forums as well, so they may use that to engage the students in an assignment or team activity, or even just to find out how they're getting on in the process. Our teachers are very much engaged within the student process. So what you'll find is if a student is falling behind or maybe hasn't checked in or logged in a while, the teacher will touch base with that student just to make sure that they're getting on with the work. So you're not left to your own devices. Although Blyth Academy Online is really catered to students who are very disciplined with their own learning, students can really do take advantage of the teachers who are assigned to each course. And then with regards to assessments, there is a variety of different ways in which we assess students during the course. There'll be quizzes, I mentioned discussion forums, and there'll be other written and formal assignments as well. If there is an exam for that particular online course, then we would have 2 options students can use in which to complete that examination. One of those being to take the course at our physical high schools here in Ontario. But as you know, due to COVID-19 pandemic, our schools are physically closed at the moment. So that isn't an option currently. So the only other option would be via a system called Examity. An Examity essentially is an online proctoring system. So what students will have is, as they take the exam, there'll be someone physically watching them, as I am with you now, watching them take the exam, and then will be there up until the end of the exam when they submit the formal assignment online. So with regards to exams, we do really focus on this. We want to make sure that cheating isn't an option. We want to make sure that the assignment is done to the best ability of the student. So by having the proctor there as well, it helps eliminate some of the concerns that the Ontario education system might have about any sort of cheating or anything like that. So guidance support. So students who want to study with us with Blyth Academy Online can either choose to do one course or a full academic year with us. So we do find a lot of our domestic students who may have potentially failed a course in the past or may be looking to get an extra credit. They'll come and do one course with us, complete that course, and use the credit that they receive with us to add to their current existing transcripts based in Ontario. But then we also have international students who are interested in doing their entire OSSD, which is the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, online with us. And that, of course, is an option. So for students who would want to come and do maybe their final 2 years, grade 11 and 12, or some students who want to do their entire high school years, which is grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, they can do that with us online. And those students have the support of a guidance counselor. So what those guidance counselors do is they're very much involved in the application process in the very early stage. So they'll receive the students' transcripts, and what those transcripts will tell us is what credits you have currently. And then we'll do something called a PLAR, which is a Prior Learning Assessment Regulation, which essentially says to us, what are your grades in your host countries? What are your grades in Turkey equate to in Canada? And then from that point on, we can start to build your OEN, which is your Ontario Education Number or your Ontario Education Record. And from that point on, provide those credits that are assigned to that particular student. And guidance counselors are also very much supportive in helping students get ready for post-secondary school studies. So they are the first point of contact for students who have questions about particular courses at particular universities here in Ontario. And they will support students in course selection. So they compare themselves with the courses that they want to take in university or any post-secondary institution they want to be a part of. So they'll give them access to external resources, workshops, skills improvement resources to really give them the whole experience of being a student at Blyth Academy. One thing that's really important to us is that although the students are studying online, they are still very much a part of the Blyth Academy student portfolio, and in that respect have access to a lot of the resources that our full-time students who are in our physical schools would have access to too. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about our fees for international students. So for students who are coming to study with us at Blyth Academy Online, we only offer grades 9 to 12. So if you're looking to study with us, you'll have to be at least coming into grade 9 and then completion by grade 12. It is $795 per course, and there is no additional fees aside of that. There is no application fees or any additional books or resources that need to be purchased. Everything you need will be available online. So that's a one-off fee of $795 if you're doing one course. But if you're looking to do an 8-course package, then we have a fee of $5,595. That's Canadian dollars, so 5,595 Canadian dollars for the 8-course package. And like I mentioned, there are no additional fees, no additional resources that are required to purchase aside from that fee. Yeah. So I'll talk to you a little bit about our post-secondary acceptances. So we are very pleased to have students who are going on to very notable post-secondary institutions once they finish with us at Blyth Academy Online. Many of those are on the screen in front of you, but we do have a large number more that isn't reflected. So this is a real testament to our guidance counselors who are very supportive in the student journey. So if a student comes to us and they have specific goals in which to get to a certain institution, then we will do whatever we can to support them in that. So making sure they've got the right requirements to get into those courses with regards to courses and grades, but also making sure that we support them in their applications as well and help them in getting to where they need to be. So many of the universities and institutions in front of you are based in Canada. So we have Laurier, we have University of Toronto, Western, University of Waterloo, great institutions that we are working with our students to get them to those institutions and get them to meet their goals. So I put in front of you some useful links. I'll be sharing this presentation will be available afterwards. And if you have any specific questions, then I'll address those at the end. But I won't be clicking on these links because it will take us out of this presentation. But just to give you an overview, if you're looking to understand what the Blyth Academy online courses are, then you just need to go to our website, which is blytheducation.com, and click on Blyth Academy Online, and then there you'll see a section referred to as courses. And there's a full list of over 160 courses for students to choose from. And each course allows students to see what the modules are and what the learning outcomes are for each module. So there you can get an understanding of what courses are available. And each course is split with regards to what grade they're in. So you'll have all the grade 9 courses, grade 10 courses, grade 11 courses, and grade 12 courses for you to view online. We also have a section for frequently asked questions. So if you do have any questions, post this presentation and you're looking for the answer, of course you can email me and the team, but you can also look at those frequently asked questions sections to get an idea of what's happening there. And then we also have our Blyth Academy online student handbook. This is shared with all students once they start with us at Blyth Academy, but it's also available online for students, for prospective students to review as well. And this gives you a real deep dive overview of not only who we are at Blyth Academy Online, but what the courses are, what to expect in terms of the learning platforms, what to expect with regards to support from teachers and guidance counselors, but also giving you a real overview of the system as well and how it operates. So, for example, if you are having any troubleshooting problems during your time working with us at Blyth Academy Online, then a lot of those questions will be addressed within the student handbook for you to review. So now I'm just going to shift the focus of this presentation slightly to talk about our physical academies here in Ontario. So as I mentioned earlier, we were ranked #1 leading private high school in Canada by the Huffington Post. And we have 10 campuses across Ontario for students to choose from. So 4 of which are in Toronto, and that's one of our flagship ones, which was in Yorkville, which is our downtown core campus. But then we also have campuses outside of the GTA area, which is the Greater Toronto area. We have campuses in Burlington, London, Mississauga, Ottawa, Waterloo, and Whitby. So if you're interested in studying with us online, we have a range of different campuses for you to choose from. And I want to talk to you a bit about the international student application process. So Blyth Academy, as most high schools are in Ontario, is split within 4 terms. So each of those 4 terms, students have an opportunity to start with us. So most high schools in Canada will have 1 intake. That usually starts in September, and then students will complete in June of the following year. Whereas we have 4 opportunities for students to start with us. We have an intake in September, November, February, and April. And what that allows is for students to start at a time that suits them. And for us, that's really important because we understand international students may not all be prepared to start with us in September. By providing other intakes, it gives them the flexibility to join us at a point in the year that suits them. And then what they'll do is just continue on to the next academic year. So just to give you a brief example, a student that may start with us in the November intake will do the November term with us, the February term with us, the April term with us, and then maybe they might want to come and do summer school with us. They complete at the end of that year. Otherwise, they'll come back to us in the September the following year to complete the course. One thing about Blyth Academy that makes us unique also is our small class sizes. So we have a maximum of 14 students per class, a minimum of 8. So on average, you'll usually find about 10 students in each of our in each of our classrooms. And this is something that we really are passionate about. We believe students learn best when they're able to really get that one-to-one personalized education. And our teachers really pride themselves in providing that experience for our students. So you'll find that in our classrooms, there's no students that are left at the back of the class, that are not encouraged to engage within their own learning. But also you'll notice that our teachers are able to quickly assess students who aren't maybe progressing as well as their classmates and quickly able to engage them back into the learning in the class. Whether that means an extra couple of minutes outside the classroom to really understand what their personal learning styles are, or potentially just have students come to see teachers drop-in sessions afterwards to really talk about what their concerns are. So we really do foster an environment at Blyth Academy where students really feel that they get that personalized one-to-one attention from their teachers. Most of our academies will have on average about 100 to 200 students per campus at one given time. And that, like I said, really allows for teachers to really get to know the students really well, and also for students to really get to know the staff. We found that many of our students have prided us in being able to really engage with their principals, whereas maybe in larger schools here in Ontario, students haven't had that opportunity. But with Blyth Academy Online, with there being such a small cohort of students that make up that entire school, they really do get that personalized one-to-one attention from their teachers. So the way to apply for Blyth Academy Online is very simple. You just go to our website, as I mentioned, blytheducation.com, and you can submit an application and make a payment online. Once the student has submitted an application, a member of the team will be in touch to request the $2,500 deposit and the transcripts. And then once those are provided, we can issue the letter of acceptance, which students use to apply for their visa to come and study in Canada. We do have an educational equivalency done. I mentioned that earlier when I referred to Blyth Academy Online, which is referred to as our PLAR, which is our Prior Learning Assessment Regulation. And what this allows us to do is to take your grades from your home school in Turkey and say, what does that equate to in Canada? And then you build your record from there. So just so you know, students, in order to complete with the OSST, which is the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, they must have a maximum of 30 credits. So if a student is joining us for grade 12, usually if they've completed up to grade 11 in their home school, they'll usually have at least a minimum of 22, 23 credits. They then come and study 8 to 7 credits with us and complete their academic qualifications in order to get the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. We do have a language assessment done on site. So for students who are interested in studying with us, we will need to do an English assessment. We recommend that students do this prior to coming to Blyth Academy, just so we have this information in advance. But if they haven't, they can do that on site with us by arriving to campuses a couple of weeks before classes are due to commence. And what this will allow us to do is see where their English level is at and see whether they need some additional support with regards to ESL, which is the English as a second language course. So this is very important for students who are coming to study at Blyth. We do need at least a minimum of 6 IELTS 6.5 for you to study with us at Blyth Academy. So students that don't have an IELTS 6.5, we would be recommending some language schools outside of Blyth Academy for them to study with us. And then they can come back to our campuses to then study once their English is up to at least a 6.5. And then, as I mentioned, you're working to earn the Ontario Secondary School Diploma with us upon completion of grade 12 with us at Blyth Academy. So we have come to the end of the presentation, and before I take questions, I just wanted to quickly give you an overview of our virtual summer school. So considering what's happening right now in the world with COVID-19 pandemic and many schools across Canada being closed, Blyth Academy included, we are offering a virtual summer school, which allows students to have a live teacher teaching them online from wherever they are in the world. So essentially, it would be similar to what we're doing right now, where I'm online with you, teaching you a live syllabus. Then there'll be some assessment materials, and there'll be some homework assignments, etc. So we're really replicating the classroom experience, but placing that online. And this is very good for students who are interested in studying with us in the summer, but maybe aren't able to come into the country. This gives them the opportunity to do just that. So if you are interested in the virtual summer school or interested in any of our programs, that includes our Blyth Academy Online, that are our physical academies, or our virtual summer school, then my email address is on the screen in front of you, and you can email me accordingly. And then just to mention one thing about our academies is that we are currently still accepting applications for our September intake. We're holding our fingers crossed. We're positive that this situation will be under control. We're monitoring what our government in Canada is doing, and we do feel positive that we will be able to commence classes in September as usual. So with that, we are currently still accepting applications for our September intake. So if you are interested in studying with us at one of our physical academies, please feel free to email me on the screen in front of you. But thank you very much for taking the time to listen. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in now, and I'll address them.
there is a question on the questions tab.
Perfect. So the first question, for the online school, do you provide tutoring to students? So with regards to tutoring, we don't have a tutoring service, so to speak. But one thing I will say is that with regards to the Blyth Academy online, you do have access to a physical teacher. So if you do have questions during the process, then you are able to touch base with that teacher and have those one-to-one conversations. Usually a lot of students will do that via Skype and then take that opportunity for students to then answer any questions back and have a sort of formalized conversation. So we don't offer a specific tutoring service, but students do have access to a teacher to have their questions answered. If you have any further questions, I'm happy to address them, so feel free to send them through.
Students can be really shy.
There's absolutely no need to be shy. There's no silly questions. I love questions, so feel free to just send them through and I'll address them.
Yeah. Guys, this is the best time to ask questions.
Okay, we have another question. So question is, do you accept students to grade 12 or should it be earlier grades? Yes, so in regards to both our Blyth Academy online and our physical high schools, we do accept students just for grade 12. So what I mentioned earlier is that we'll request to see your transcripts for everything you studied up until at the end of grade 11. That will allow us to be able to provide you an overview of how many more credits you'll need. And then from that point on, you can continue on studying with us for your grade 12. If you want to come and study with us from a grade earlier, then that's absolutely fine too. Blyth Academy Online only starts from grade 9, so you'll only be able to start studying with us from grade 9. Whereas if you want to come and study with us for our physical academies, then we do start from grade 5. Okay, another question. Do you have a residence? That's a great question. I didn't actually address that. So Blyth Academy Online is a day school. So we don't have a formalized halls of residence here in Canada. However, for students who are looking to come and study with us, we do work with some homestay providers, one of the biggest ones being the Canada Homestay Network. So for students who are looking to study with us, we will be able to essentially put you in touch with a homestay provider to provide adequate accommodation. For those of you who do not know what homestay is, essentially it's an opportunity to stay with a Canadian family based here in Ontario. They have been vetted, they have had background checks, they are qualified and gone through the relevant channels to become a homestay provider. And it really does give the students an opportunity to live with a Canadian family. So in that respect, you're getting the real Canadian experience. They'll be able to give you insights into the country that you might not necessarily get if you come here on your own without essentially with, maybe even with your family. So it's a great opportunity for students who are really wanting to understand that real Canadian experience. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have a halls of residence, but for students who are looking to study with us, we do work with some homestay providers. And just so you know, with regards to homestay, there is an additional fee for that. Oh, and there's a question about it. So yes, so how much is homestay? So depending on which homestay provider students go for, there's different fees. But Canada Homestay in particular, for full academic year, including all three meals a day, it comes up to just over $14,000 a year. So that will include the accommodation, your room, it will include your 3 meals a day as well as sometimes additional aspects like airport pickup, etc. So if you do want some more information about homestay, then feel free to email me and I'll provide you with the documentation that gives an overview of not only the fees but also the services involved as well. But yeah, in terms of fees, you're looking at just over 14,000. And with regards to Blyth Academy fees, so I mentioned earlier what the BAO fees were, which is our Blyth Academy online fees, but I didn't actually mention what our physical high school fees are. So on average, depending on which campus you choose, because each of our campuses do have different fees based on their location. So all of our campuses in Toronto will have one fee and all of our campuses outside of Toronto will have another fee. So the campuses that are in Toronto, you're looking at anywhere between 23 to 26,000, and then our campuses that are outside Toronto could be anywhere between 22 to 24. So just depending on which campuses students choose, the fees vary. So no question. Can you please explain some more about the online summer schools, which courses you offer? So yes, our online summer school will take place either in the month of July or the month of August, and it's usually a 4-week course, 3 to 4 week course. Students will choose one course to study in each month. There's a range of different courses available. The best place to find out the breakdown is on our website. I'll actually just quickly click on it now as I'm talking to you all, just to sort of give you a breakdown of what exact courses are on offer. So like I said, this information can be found on our website, but I'm clicking on our website right now just to provide you with an overview. So in July this summer, we will be offering grade 9 principles of mathematics. In grade 10, we'll be offering civics and career studies. A grade 11 course, for example, will be French immersion or even functions. A grade 12 course could be international business, core French, calculus and vectors, visual arts. So there's a wide range of courses that students can choose from. But the best place to check it out is just go to our website, click on blytheducation.com, then go under programs, click on virtual summer school, and there you'll find a breakdown of all the courses that are available. And as I mentioned, there's courses both in July and in August for students to take part of. Any further questions? They're really good ones, so feel free to keep sending them through.
Meanwhile, you can drop your email address on the tab. If you want to contact you for personal questions, they can by your email.
Okay, so I'll just drop my email address in the chat box. Good idea. So yeah, that's my email address. So you can send me all your follow-up emails if you have some further questions afterwards. Oh, sorry. I just realized I have a little bit of a typo in that email address. So I'll type it in again. There you go. Oh, looks like we've got another question. So it says, hello, do you have a textbook for online course? So all courses for Blyth Academy Online, everything is pre-uploaded. So what that means is there isn't any additional materials that you need to buy or have outside of what's available online. So if there's any reading criteria or any reading materials they need, then they can access those online, and those will be pre-uploaded for them to access. So no additional textbooks aside from the ones that are available online.
Well, it seems like there is no more questions. You want to add something else?
Last thing I'll add is just honestly, thank you so much for your time. I hope that I've been able to provide you an overview of our school here in Ontario, Canada. I have left my email address. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to email me. But obviously during this time with everything that's happening, online learning is becoming the major form in which students are using to access the credits they need. So please do take an opportunity to read our website. There you'll find some real good information about the courses that we have on offer and the opportunities that you have to study with us here in Canada.
Great. Thank you so much for participating, Demi.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.